Random thoughts. In this video, I'm going to read part of Sir Richard Burton's book, First Steps in East Africa, Exploration of Harar. Richard Burton was a spy, a British spy who was sent to Harar in 1850s to try to get information that the British could use, and the British were interested in taking over the control of the port of Berbera. Now, in this book, of course, he tells us about his journey, and he went to Harar as an Arab merchant. Of course, he could not go as a European explorer or a European spy. Now, in this part, he is still telling us about the history of Harar. He is in Harar at this point. In the last video, I mentioned that we might never know who actually started the troubles that went on for a long time between the Abyssinian kingdom and the Sultanate of Harar. But according to Richard Burton, the people who started the issues were the people of Adal. And this is what he says. In the 14th century, AD 1312 to AD 1342, Amdasion, emperor of Ethiopia, taunted by Amano, king of Adia, as a monarch fit only to take care of women, overran and plundered the lowlands from the Targulate to the Red Sea. So at least in this version, it seems like the actual wars were not started by the people of Adal or Adia, the province. The actual wars were started by the Abyssinians, but at the instigation, at least going by the stories that were told to Richard Burton, this was at the instigation of the king of Adia, somebody went by the name Amano. Now, Amano seems like at some point started taunting the king of the Ethiopians or the emperor of the Ethiopians or the Abyssinians and saying that he was only fit to take care of women and could not do any damage. And seems like the king of or the emperor of Ethiopia, Amdasion, to me seems like he was a very petty person because or he was a very emotional person because he allowed these towns to get to him and to make him make very critical decisions. And he decides to go and attack and invade and he decides to go and invade the Adia Commonwealth. The Amharas were commanded to spare nothing that drew the breath of life, to fulfill a prophecy which foretold the fall of Islam. They perpetrated every kind of enormity. So the Ethiopians, the Abyssinians, because the emperor has been insulted, they go and attack the so-called Adia monarchy or commonwealth, and they kill everything, or they destroy everything that came or was on their way. Then he continued, peace followed the death of Amdasion. So Amdasion dies. In the reign of Zara Yaqub, AD 1434 to 1468, the flame of war was again fanned in Adia by Zeila princess, who was slighted by the Ethiopian monarch on the account of the length of her foreteeth. The hostilities which ensued were not, however, of an important nature. Now, the same thing happened, but this time the other way around. Seems like there was a princess in Zeila, and the Ethiopians insulted her looks, in particular how the structure of her teeth was, and that of course made the people of Adia to be very angry, or she instigated that there should be war between the Abyssinians and the people of Adia, and I'm thinking the people of Adal Sultanate. And actually a war happened, but seems like it did not become a major thing. But this happened after the death of Amdasion. Now, the next person to rule over Abyssinia is somebody who went by the name Boeda Mariana. He says, Boeda Mariana, the next occupant of the throne, passed his life in constant struggle for supremacy over the Adel. On his deathbed, he caused himself to be so placed that his face looked towards those lowlands upon whose subjugation the energies of 10 years had been vainly expended. So he fought for close to 10 years, for a decade, trying to capture Adal, and in the end he was not successful. And when he died, he said that you bury me looking towards that direction. So yeah, so those are two incidences where the conflicts between Abyssinia and Adia, or we can say Adal, were caused by the ego of two leaders being bruised. And I found that to be very interesting. Those are my random thoughts.